Dear Mom, it's been really quiet around here recently. So to help get the Fleece Train running again, I thought I would tell you what I've been up to this week. It's been a busy week for fiber and sewing and house everything making. So, you know, I have been pattern testing, beta testing, a Edwardian blouse pattern. I love it. I really do. It's turning out great. So, I cut it yesterday. Yesterday? No. I cut it on Saturday. I lie. And I put it together mostly yesterday with some today. Mostly it is big and flowy right now just because it gets tucked into a skirt. But can we just admire this beautiful cuff work? And all of this has been oh so lovely done on Gigi's Singer. So that's the Singer 221 featherweight. Mom, it hums. It's so quiet. I don't even need headphones when I'm listening to my podcast. It's wonderful. It just hums along beautifully and it sews perfectly. The top thread breaking, it was a me problem. I was threading it wrong. Sorry. So some videos later, I now know how to thread it properly. It's perfect. I absolutely love it. But I need 8 buttons for it. 2 for on each cuff, and then it fastens down the side of the neck and over the shoulder. Which means I'm gonna have to use the buttonhole foot, which I've still never done. But now's the time, and as Grandma so kindly said, the Singer does have its original buttonhole foot, and it seems rude not to use it. Even though usually I just do them by hand because I'm a little scared of buttonhole feet on sewing machines. But we're gonna try it out because I need to make 8 buttonholes, and I would like this to be a kind of a daily wear shirt because it's gonna be super cute. So buttonholes will need to be made. But that means I need to pick buttons, which, as you know, we kind of got a lot of buttons. This is just the 1 jar of buttons. So I'm gonna need to dump them out and choose, I'm gonna dump them out and see if I can find 8 matching buttons of an appropriate size. And then if I can find more than one kind of 8 matching buttons of an appropriate size, I will choose. Kind of not expecting that though. So we'll see. I'll show you later which ones I find, but it's gonna be a mystery. So that's what's going on with the shirt. And I still have to put together the skirt pattern, which I'm also looking forward to because I think it's going to be adorable. But the fabric I found for it is, the warp is a white cotton. I mean, it's all cotton, but the warp is white and the weft is kind of a unbleached natural color. So it's a very summery skirt, or a very summery fabric. And I'm a little nervous when it's worked up. I'm sure it's gonna be beautiful, but I'm a little nervous it might be too heavy for really summer wear. So I might end up over dyeing it with like a navy blue after it's all sewn together if I see how it wears. But I might end up over dyeing it with a navy blue to kind of make it more winter / fall appropriate, depending on, again, how it wears. We'll see. I'll let you know about that later too. Into the land of crochet. The watermelon bunting, which I'll insert a picture here of it all strung up, but it looks a little too pizza slice-ish. It's not as cute as I was hoping. Some suggestions I've gotten was to make them shorter and wider, so it's more of, you know, a 1/4 versus an 1/8. I might try that, maybe if I get around to it, or I might just put it into the corner of my office closet and, you know, ignore it until next summer. Options. But anyway, I don't know, it did not turn out as cute as I was hoping. Looks great working up, like, that's adorable. Great colors, really cheerful. But when I hung it up on the fireplace, it's just, eh. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. I don't know if it's worth the effort to rework it. It took like a day to make. But it has a lot of potential to be really adorable. Anyway, what else have I been doing? Oh, my dishwasher works now. Actually, I filmed a little video of it. I'll put that here too. Mom. So you know how like at the beginning of the pandemic, my dishwasher just didn't turn on one day, and I kind of didn't know what happened to it, but I had some mice, so I assumed one of them chewed on the cord, and it happens, but I'm one person. I don't make that much dishes. I'll just wash them myself. I don't want a repair person coming into the house during the pandemic. Okay. It's like 6 months later, and I think to myself, okay, I'm good having a repair person come in. So I'm gonna call them on Monday. Today's Sunday. I'm gonna call them tomorrow. So I'm cleaning the kitchen, doing my thing, wiping stuff down, and I wipe down the dishwasher because I don't want it to be gross when the repair guy comes. And as I'm wiping down the control panel, what do I hear but a happy little and I look and all the lights are on. So I hit the buttons and everything's turning on and doing its thing correctly. So that's the sound of my dishwasher running a mostly empty load, and it's doing fine. But the moral of the story is that I've been hand washing all of my dishes, which I do not enjoy. I've been hand washing all of my dishes for 6 months for apparently no good reason. So, 3 cheers for miracle repairs that I've done nothing to do with, but it's running. So that's a delight. Random, but delightful. I've been working on the kitchen table. So, my wonderful 1950s kitchen table and chairs with my wonderful 1950s house. However, the table and chairs had like 19 layers of paint. And paint, and paint. So, it's all stripped down, all good. It may have taken like 2.5 to 3 months to strip all 6 chairs and the table. No judgments, it's been really hot. But it's stripped. I repaired the table. It needed some tightening in a couple of places and a little bit of wood fill where there was somebody, I don't know, ran into it with a vacuum or something and took a chunk out of one of the legs. But all fixed. It's painted. Now I just have to get it back into my house. It's currently living in the carport. You know, where my car is supposed to be living, because it's a black car and it's 95 degrees out. Yeah, no, the kitchen table's living in the carport right now. Anyway, it's done. It's beautiful. The color is very similar to what it started as. Funny enough. But it's a bit more of the greenish gray than a bluish gray, which was the goal. So, bring that in. I'll actually have a kitchen table again. Lovely. I was kind of surprised how much I ended up missing it because I eat a lot of my meals at my desk or, you know, on the couch. But I really missed it. So I'll be glad to have that. Speaking of repairs of old machines and tables, Annette, my wonderful 1908 white family rotary sewing machine, who I love beyond all reason, has a new drive band coming. It should be here tomorrow, so I'll let you know how that goes. I've watched some videos. It seems pretty easy to do, a little fiddly, but manageable. We'll see. I will not be defeated by a strip of leather around a sewing machine, mostly because I want to use the sewing machine, and the repair guy I tried for vintage machines wouldn't take her, so I'm on my own. But I sewed just a little bit, just a couple of lines of, not even a seam, but a couple of lines of stitching on some scrap fabric. I turned it by hand, and it worked. I Oh gosh, it was like 10 o'clock at night, which for me is midnight. And I'm sweaty, and because it's 95 degrees out, I'm sweaty and kind of grumpy, and I tried out just to see if Annette would like stitch at all, see how bad it is, and she went. It sews. It really sews. Look at that. It sews. Annette sewed her first seam in who knows how long. So I definitely still need to replace the drive band because it's not catching, it's just sliding, so it needs to be tightened. But because of how old and dry the leather is, it's just gonna rip if I put a new hole in it. It won't, it needs to be replaced. And drive bands are cheap and pretty easy to do. I hope. But anyway, she sewed actually really well. The tension's a bit wonky, so I'm going to do some more reading about that, but manageable. And I was hoping to do at least a little bit of sewing on the two patterns I'm beta testing because they're Edwardian patterns. And I'd really like, I don't know, something about sewing an Edwardian pattern on a 1908 sewing machine. It just makes my little geek heart sing. So I might, I don't know, even if I just like finish a seam with it, I'm gonna try because it's cool. It really is. That's it. It's just, it's cool. Practicality be damned, it's cool. So once the drive band gets here, I will let you know how that goes. Wish me luck. Any tips would be appreciated. Actually though, as a continuation of my sudden bizarre dreaming, which I never remember my dreams until a couple of weeks ago, I started having really weird dreams and I'd remember them. Although sometimes I would remember them because they were so weird. You know, I'd wake up in the morning and go, wow, that was a bizarre dream. And then by thinking about how bizarre it was, I would remember the thinking about it. Yeah. Anyway, according to this dream, Hogwarts, School for Witchcraft and Wizardry, you know the one, in Scotland, old, dilapidated, lots of wizards, that one. Apparently they have, according to my dream, they have an entire wing devoted to repairing antique sewing machines. Wish fulfillment at all dreams? Possibly. Anyway, you might ask how I get a very heavy, very old sewing machine in its table up like moving staircases. Well, turns out it's a lot easier with levitation. All I needed was magic. Who needs muscles? Just use a spell. Really wish that worked in real life. Make it so much easier to get into the car. But sadly, in this particular life, there is not magic of the levitation variety, and therefore I must rely on muscles. So, oh well. Wouldn't that be awesome though? Just levitate it up the stairs, leave it with the wizards, and you come back to a perfectly running sewing machine. That'd be great. Now I want to think about magical sewing machines. Could be cool. Never run out of bobbin thread? That'd be helpful. Anywho, I haven't really been knitting anything lately. I realized I haven't knit anything in like 4 months, mostly because what I have on the needles is my Stephen West Doodler, which I think I'm going to rip out actually because it's turning. My gauge was a little bit small because I was using sock instead of fingering, I think. And I figured, oh, I go up a needle size, it'll be good enough. And I just wanted to knit it. And I was having a really good time and I got as far as I could. And I'm looking at it and it just seems awfully small. And this was in like January. It seems awfully small. So I'm going back and forth on, can I put a bigger border on it? Could I do this? Could I do that? And while I was figuring it out, it got shoved into a drawer, and I haven't thought about it since, January. So, none of that. Then my other knitting project is my Rhinebeck sweater. But there's no Rhinebeck this year. So, also, as previously mentioned, it's 95 degrees out, and I don't have air conditioning, and it is a wool sweater that the back and fronts are knit all in one piece, and I'm not a small human, so it's kind of a lot of sweater, and due to the 95 degrees, I don't want a lot of wool sweater on my lap because I will die of sweat. So, no knitting, only crochet recently. But I kind of miss the knitting, so maybe I'll make like a hat or something, I don't know. Or sit directly under a fan and work on my sweater anyway for like 15 minutes. We'll see. Anyway, what's up with you? What are you making, Mom? Talk to you later. Bye.